On the heels of the global recession, tightening credit from banks, and a growing distrust in some subsets of the population of financial institutions, major retailers really stepped in to fill the void. In the US, consumers can apply for loans when they want to do a bathroom renovation while shopping at Home Depot. Consumers can also jumpstart a small business at Sam's Club. In the UK, there's several supermarkets, including Asda, Tesco, Marks and Spencer, all dabbling in consumer finance. We find this trend actually most prevalent in Latin America, and that's because in Latin America, there's a high unbanked population and relative to the development of its retail sector. In addition, there is a persistent culture in Latin America of distrust after years of hyperinflation and high interest rates. As a result, retailers, which are more readily accessible, especially in rural areas, consumers trust them more to provide these services. For example, what we've seen in Brazil is actually where retailers there have provided a blueprint for how other Latin American retailers can leverage the consumer-retailer relationship to provide financial services. In Brazil, retailers started to offer store cards, which often target low-income consumers, and it was a way to reach those consumers. After a number of years, other countries in Latin America started offering similar products, and now we see where retailers actually are starting to pair back up with banks to offer co-branded cards that could be accepted across the entire network, whether it might be a Visa or a MasterCard. In Mexico, we see where there's actually 10 retailers involved in the consumer finance space. We have the pharmacy chains like Super Farmacia offering bill payment and remittance services. We also see the retailer Elektra offering credit card services. Supermarket chains like Soriana offer simplified savings accounts as well. Of course, all this is possible in Mexico because of a lax in regulation that allows non-bank entities to provide such services. In addition, Mexico went a step further a couple of years ago by establishing a system that allowed bank entities to pair with non-bank entities to provide such services. Several retailers, including the likes of Walmart, have used that system to extend financial services to consumers. As of the end of 2011, there were 21,000 of these satellite banks, which equates to 2.64 satellite banks per 10,000 adults in Mexico. Although these retailer-based strategic partnerships have certainly made a breakthrough in the unbanked population in Mexico, moving forward, there's going to have to be additional input from private banks in terms of investment or government entities in terms of financial literacy programs for consumers. At the end of the day, it really may be the retailer in some of these markets that's going to be best suited to provide consumer financial services, and that's because of their close relationship with the end consumer, knowing what the end consumer wants, and just that trust. It's truly that trust that they've built up and the sheer number of outlets that they have across the country, including in high rural areas, which has hampered the growth of bank services in Mexico.